What disenfranchisement is all about. Let's look at the first 13 states that have ratified this bill. And I won't list them, but they're substantial. Their total population is 115,019,605. It's their total population. States that have not ratified it, and there are basically Middle America: Idaho, Montana, Utah, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia. Any guess on what their total population is? 48 million. 48 million compared to 115 million. Now we have a couple new states that are on board. The cities alone of the 13 states that have already ratified have 24 million people. One half that of all those states I just listed, one half the population. So you talk about disenfranchisement, those states won't have a chance. It's interesting to me that we try to elevate ourselves to the status of our forefathers. Those guys are pretty doggone smart. They wrote the Constitution, they wrote the Bill of Rights. They figured out how to make our country work, and it's worked very well for hundreds and hundreds of years. Yes, the Electoral College is an interesting little thing, but what they did is they said that the big states, the big cities can't overwhelm and overrun the little states. Happens in Oregon all the time. I wish we had an Electoral College in Oregon. Things certainly would be different. So when one looks at the states, and we look at the Electoral College and the makeup of it, Hillary Clinton won 20% of her electoral votes in two states, California and New York. If we get, in my opinion, if we get to the national popular vote, I don't ever see a Republican president ever being in the future. Is that what we want? We've got a two-party system. Maybe we should go to a four-party system. Break it down a little bit more. But let's look at some of the elections that were won because of the Electoral College. Look at Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton didn't receive 50% of the vote, but yet he won the majority of Electoral College. Would he have then become president, or would we have to have the legislature, which is in the Constitution, pick who the president would be? George W. Bush, certainly a nail-biter in Florida with 29 electoral votes. Won by a few votes, got those 29, became president. But the interesting thing about our fathers, our founding fathers, not knowing that we would have 50 states, they set up a system that worked, and worked very, very well. There's been other presidents that have not won the majority, the popular vote, but have won the Electoral College. And that gave those small states the ability to be a player. Yes, nobody ever comes to Oregon, and when they do, all they want is money. Nobody goes to California, because it's a given, it's going to vote blue. But when you look at the states that have enacted the national popular vote, they're all blue. They're all blue. Why is that? Are they mad because Trump won? Because he won the Electoral College? He didn't win the popular vote? But in New York, where Hillary Clinton won most of the votes, she was 2 million votes over Donald Trump. It's because we have a president we don't like doesn't mean that we should change a system that has worked greatly for 200 years. This system will deny voters their ability to be heard. One person, one vote. How would you, not me as a Republican, but you as Democrats, like to go back to your constituents and say, oh, by the way, our state, you voted for the Democratic presidential candidate. But because the national popular vote, all of our electoral votes are going to the Republican. Explain that to them. Explain how that works. And tell them that their vote really counted, but oh, it didn't, because the electoral votes went to the president from the other party or from an independent party, wherever it may be from. Do the mathematics. Look at where the population centers are. Look at the cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Jose. When you look at the population that those cities have, and those cities will keep growing. We didn't even put Portland on here. We did have Seattle, but there's other large cities in the blue states that have huge population bases. And those population bases are typically Democratic. When you look at the number of counties in our country, which is 3,140, and you look at the number of counties that President Trump won, it's enormous. So how can you say that the national popular vote will be a vote of the people, by the people, and for the people? Because it won't. I know personally, when I vote, does my vote count? Yes, it counts. It shows up. I voted for myself. It showed up. It was there. There was my name right there for my vote because I voted for myself. All those votes count. But when you say that we've got 18, 20, 25 states that are going to vote one way, all the other states lose. So all of those votes don't count at all. And for certain, it will not bring presidential candidates to our state. Because we're given. We're easy. Hillary Clinton won 74 electoral votes. The left coast, California, Washington, and Oregon. 74 electoral votes. Did she ever come? She come out here, and did she have a big town hall out here where we could meet her? Did President Trump come out here? No, he didn't. They won't come to Oregon. National popular vote is trying to say that that'll make them come and talk to us, but it won't happen. But what it will do, it will disenfranchise those states that are not part of national popular vote. And it'll make all the big cities the players, and the rest of the country, the rest of middle America, will not play in the game. Because the numbers are clear. Of the 13 states, 115 million, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 20 states, 48 million people. Explain to them why their vote will not count because we decided to get in this cabal of people that are going to vote one way, and everybody that voted that way, if the guy or gal wins the popular vote, they get all of the electoral votes. Explain to those Americans why their vote didn't count. Certainly will be a no on this bill.
Senator Tim Knopp yielded his